It is nothing, nowhere mentioned about lengths, right?
Yeah.
Length of all the sides. These two are parallel, of course. We have to make sure that other two sides are equal to each other.
Yeah.
So it could be a parallelogram, it could be a trapezium.
Yeah.
Can it be a rectangle?
A rectangle. No.
Why not?
Because in a rectangle, all sides are 90 degrees. All angles are 90 degrees each. And I don't think there's parallel sides.
Yeah. If the same diagram is like this, so parallel and are equal. Is it a rectangle? Can you call it? I mean, it could be.
It can be, but we need more information.
Yeah. So that is the thing. So two things are fixed for sure. It could be a trapezium or it could be a parallelogram. Okay?
Yes.
But if sides are not inclined like this, and if they are vertical to each other, then that means that is a parallelogram only. This point is mentioned in the notes. If opposite sides are parallel, and if opposite sides are equal to each other, hello? Hello?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
So, yeah. If the sides are not inclined, if this, then it is just a parallelogram. If it is not inclined, then it is a parallelogram. Okay? Yeah, you just go through those notes which I sent you.
Yeah.
Points, whatever. Do you have WhatsApp open?
Yeah, I can open it.
Yeah, open it quick. I'll tell you how to approach them.
Yeah, I will.
So, scroll back and you'll find Tuesday. Rhombus, from rhombus. Do you see that?
Yeah, Tuesday, rhombus. Yeah.
Yeah, read that.
Rhombus. A rhombus is a parallelogram in which all sides are equal.
All sides are equal. Rhombus. That's it. That is what it defines the rhombus. We don't talk about angles. That is what the statement means. We only talk about sides. If all the sides are equal, then it is a rhombus.
Yeah.
We don't talk about angles. If by coincidence, if the angle is 90 degrees, the rhombus becomes a
Rectangle.
no. For rectangle, what is the difference between square and rectangle?
In square, all sides are congruent.
In rectangle,
They're not all congruent.
the opposite sides are equal.
Yes, so opposite sides are congruent in a triangle. Rectangle.
Rectangle. And the angles are 90 degrees each. So for square also the angles are 90 degrees. For rectangle also angles are 90 degrees. Difference between the square and rectangle is, in square all sides are equal to each other. In rectangle only two pairs of sides are equal to each other.
Yeah.
Next, go through that picture, the definitions I sent you.
The one with I see it. Yeah, so a parallelogram is a quadrilateral which both pairs of opposite sides are parallel.
Next,
A trapezium is a quadrilateral in which one pair of opposite sides are parallel.
okay, only one pair of opposite sides is parallel. That's all we care about.
Yeah.
Now, your question was B, right?
Yeah.
What can you say? What is the shape now?
We can say it's a trapezoid.
Trapezium for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. Under B, you can write trapezium with pencil.
Yeah. So wait, but one of the sides is congruent, so how is it still?
We don't care about that. The definition of trapezium is one pair of sides should be parallel. We don't talk about anything else. The other sides may or may not be equal. Even if they are not equal, the sides, the shape is still a trapezium.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
See, by definition, a trapezium is a quadrilateral in which one pair of opposite sides are parallel. That's all we care about. If one pair of opposite sides are parallel, it becomes a trapezium. We are not talking about anything else
Yeah.
for trapezium. This is grammar only.
Yeah, I understand.
Grammar, yeah. Next one.
Okay. So, done with that. Can we go over number 6?
Kite.
Oh.
After trapezium,
Oh, kite.
what is a kite?
A kite is a quadrilateral which has two pairs of equal adjacent sides.
So, equal adjacent sides. Adjacent means
Adjacent means next to.
they are together or they are next to each other.
Yeah.
So those. And yeah, that's it. So this is the difference between parallelogram, trapezium and kite. Square and rectangle we also discussed. So what is the next point?
There's none.
I mean, come out on that picture.
Yeah.
The next message.
Okay. It talks about The sum of interior angles of a quadrilateral is always equal to 360.
Any quadrilateral.
Yeah.
Any doubts on this?
No.
Okay, next point.
For parallelograms, the diagonals bisect each other, and then after that, square. Opposite sides are equal. Adjacent sides are equal. Adjacent sides
are perpendicular.
Yeah. The four angles at the vertices are equal. Diagonals are perpendicular to each other. Diagonals bisect each other. Diagonals are equal. Diagonals bisect the angles at the vertices.
Diagonals are perpendicular to each other. Come to the keyboard. So if I ask this is a square, how much should be this angle?
Which angle? This should be 90. Yeah.
This is 90 degrees.
It should be 90 degrees because diagonal is perpendicular for square.
This is
And
for
all
square.
sides. Yeah, all sides should be equal. All diagonals should be equal.
Good. All the diagonals are equal to each other.
Yeah, and so are the angles.
Yeah. Let's talk about rectangle. Diagonals of the rectangle. This is one diagonal and this is the other diagonal. If I ask you, is this angle 90 degrees? True or false?
False.
False. This angle is not 90 degrees.
Because the diagonals are not perpendicular, so it could be 90 degrees, but you don't know for sure.
Yeah, this is not 90 degrees. If 90 degrees, it becomes a square actually.
Yeah.
The orientation will become in such a manner that it transforms into a square.
Yeah. But for rectangle, the diagonals are perpendicular.
For rectangle, the diagonals are not perpendicular.
I know.
Square?
I meant for rectangle, the diagonals are congruent.
The diagonals are equal. So AB is equal to CD. AB is equal to CD.
CD.
And the angle between them is not 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Between the diagonal. But at the vertices, the angles are
The vertices of the angles?
at the vertices.
Yeah, they're 90 degrees, but the diagonals don't bisect the angles like the square do.
Yeah. Diagonals also don't bisect. That is one important point.
Yeah. Only for square.
So for rectangle, angle between diagonals is not 90. No doubt, right?
Yeah.
This is point number 1. The other point is diagonals are equal. That is good. Diagonals are equal, but at the vertices,
But the vertices
diagonals do not
bisect.
bisect the angle at the vertices. Okay?
Yeah.
All angles are
Congruent. Equal.
congruent to how much?
90 degrees.
And regarding sides, what can you say about rectangle?
opposite sides are equal?
Opposite pair of sides are parallel and equal.
Yeah.
So I think I sent you the points, these types of points for rectangle, for square and rhombus, and also for parallelogram.
Yeah. Could you also send it for isosceles, trapezium, and kite?
Yeah, we'll discuss about that. Kite I sent you, right? There is only one definition for kite. Adjacent sides are kite.
Adjacent sides are congruent.
Congruent. That is the only one point for kite. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that is about kite. And isosceles trapezium, right?
Yeah.
See, by definition, you can guess. Isosceles trapezium. It is a trapezium. Trapezium means
One pair of parallel sides.
that's it.
And one. Yeah.
So, if these sides are equal, the blue ones, if they are equal,
Yeah.
then it becomes what type of trapezium?
The blue ones are equal. Isosceles.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go to the next one. What is the next point? You just finished square.
Yeah, and it talks about which shapes are which shape. Like,
Okay, before that, I have replied to the parallelogram message.
Yeah.
Can you go to that parallelogram text? We were talking about properties of parallelogram.
Yeah.
What is the first point?
If diagonals in a parallelogram are equal and perpendicular to each other, it's a square.
Is it a square?
Are equal. Yeah.
Diagonals are equal and the angle between them is 90 degrees.
Yeah.
It is a square. Next point.
Next. The previous for if one pair of opposite sides in a quadrilateral are equal and parallel, the quadrilateral is a paradigm.
Do you understand this? If one pair of opposite sides are equal and parallel to each other,
Yeah.
then it is a parallelogram.
Yeah.
The parallel sides should be equal.
Yeah.
So now my question is, can you call the question B in your notes, the B one, as parallelogram?
Yeah. What happened?
The B question.
The B question?
The eighth question, B part.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a trapezoid. Trapezium.
Can you call this as parallelogram?
No.
Because
There's no top. Because the opposite pair of sides have to be parallel and congruent.
congruent also.
Yeah.
For it to become a parallelogram, parallel sides should be equal. One pair of parallel sides should be equal. That is enough.
Yeah.
If only just one pair of sides are parallel and equal, it becomes a parallelogram.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next part. Next point.
Okay. The if the diagonals of a quadrilateral bisect each other, it's a parallelogram. So basically, if the diagonals bisect each other, it's a parallelogram.
Yeah. And the next point.
And that, okay, so if the opposite angles in a quadrilateral equal, it's a parallelogram.
Opposite angles.
Yeah.
So for a parallelogram, this angle should be equal to this angle.
Yeah.
And this one
To be equal to this one.
okay. Let's do one question. Let's say there is a parallelogram. Parallelogram ABCD. Coordinates of A, B, and C are given. How to find the coordinates of D?
Not sure how to do this.
See, can you draw the Venn diagram? That is the first step. To draw a diagram.
And a graph?
Diagram. Use a different color. Parallelogram. Coordinates are
Is that 4?
that is 1.
Okay.
What do you know about the diagonals in the parallelogram?
They bisect each other.
Bisect each other, right?
Yeah.
What does this point become?
Midpoint.
So O is midpoint. What is the coordinates of that midpoint?
You have to use the midpoint formula.
For AC, O is the midpoint for AC. O is also midpoint for
BD.
BD. Can you find the coordinates of O?
Coordinates of O. We can use the midpoint formula.
Good. Use it.
Okay, so we can use AC.
AC. So if you want to use AC, how to find midpoint? So 3 is what?
3 is x.
X coordinate
Of AC.
X coordinate of what point?
Like both. Like it's a midpoint.
Point O.
Yeah.
X coordinate of point O. What about Y coordinate of point O?
So y coordinate of point O.
Is it negative 4?
Yeah.
Why is it negative 4?
Because 2 minus 6. Oh, it's 2 plus 6.
2 plus 6.
Okay, so it's 3 and 4.
3 comma 4, right?
Yeah.
These are the coordinates of
Oh.
point O. So similarly, can you tell me O is the midpoint of what else?
What was the midpoint of BD also?
Yeah. So O is midpoint of AC. Coordinates are 3 comma 4. Correct?
Yeah. Yeah, and so I think if you add up the coordinates, you'll get the D coordinate D.
Good. O is also O is midpoint of BD.
Yeah.
So in the figure, can you look at the coordinates of B and D?
The coordinates of B is 3 comma 4. And D we don't know, and O is also 3 comma 4.
Okay, let's change the coordinates of B. Let's say it is negative 1 comma 2.
Yeah.
So negative 1 comma 2. So the diagram becomes the parallelogram ABCD. ABCD. This is the intersection of diagonals. This is point.
3 comma 4. Oh, 3 comma 4.
Yeah. O 3 comma 4. Coordinates of B was
Negative 1 comes. So I think we just add the things.
which two things can you tell me?
Point A, point O, and point B.
O and B. This one.
Yeah.
If you add those two, what do you get?
Negative. Sorry, not negative.
Read this point again.
O is the midpoint of BD.
O is midpoint of BD. B and D you need to consider. You have to add B and D to get O. For AC, earlier you have added
So you have to add up B and D.
So you have to add B and D, just like how you added previously.
But
A and
we
C.
don't know. So how do we add it?
If you don't know, you have to assume variable x and y, like that.
Yeah.
Assume D as x comma y. Is it just addition? Think carefully. What is the formula?
Is it distance formula?
Are we talking about distance formula?
No.
Which formula are we talking about?
Midpoint.
Formula for midpoint is
x1 plus x2 divided by 2.
so you have added x1 and x2, right?
Yeah.
And you divided by
2.
So can you rectify this? Good. This should be coordinates of which point?
D.
Coordinates of?
O.
Yeah, careful. This is coordinates of O. But did we get coordinates of O? Coordinates of O was?
Oh, okay. So, okay. Coordinates are over 3, negative 3, 4.
Yeah. So we have understood that coordinates of O should be this one, and this should also be equal to 3, 4.
Yeah.
So these two are equivalent to each other.
Yeah.
So you equate x with x coordinate, y with y coordinate.
So should I substitute 3 as x?
No. You have to put this value is equal to 3.
Oh, okay.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
The entire thing is equal to 3. So it's equal to?
That's equal to 7.
Good. What else can we find?
Y.
How much is y? Can you guess?
Y equals 6.
Good. So what's next?
So the coordinates of what's it called? D are 7, 6.
Good. So that is how we find the coordinates of D. Okay?
Yeah.
You understand, right?
Yeah.
So that is about some questions on parallelogram and identifying the quadrilaterals.
Yeah.
See all the points which I sent you, just go through them one by one.
Yeah.
You can be prepared for the exam, test or whatever.
Yeah.
And any more questions?
I'm good so far, but
Let's
number
continue
6.
the eighth one then.
What?
Let's continue the eighth question.
Okay.
What is B?
B is a trapezium
Why not? It is a parallelogram.
because opposite sides are not parallel and congruent.
The parallel sides should be equal.
Yeah.
So in this case, it is not mentioned. So we can't just directly call it as parallelogram. So the figure becomes a trapezium. Okay?
Yeah.
Next one. C.
C is rhombus, I think.
What is a rhombus?
Rhombus is all sides are equal.
In this case, is it mentioned that the sides are equal?
No.
What is mentioned about the sides?
They're parallel. Opposite sides are parallel.
Opposite sides are parallel.
Yeah.
And the diagonals, what are they trying to say?
They bisect the angles.
Good. The diagonals are bisecting. And opposite sides are parallel. So, what can we say?
That it's a parallelogram.
It is a parallelogram because opposite sides are parallel. And if the diagonals are also bisecting, I mean the angle is being bisected, the parallelogram becomes
Can you repeat that?
based on the point
Yeah.
that the opposite sides are parallel. From that point alone, we can say that it is a parallelogram.
Yeah.
And if you want to go further, it is also mentioned about diagonals.
Yeah.
The angles are bisecting.
Yeah.
So therefore, the shape is
What's it called? Parallelogram.
yeah. The parallelogram becomes what? If the angles are also bisecting,
Yeah.
is it a square or is it a rectangle or is it a rhombus?
Rhombus.
It is a square.
Yeah.
The diagonals are bisecting the angle at the vertex.
Yeah.
Right there, square.
Wait, so number C is a square,
Yeah.
but the opposite sides are equal. So how is it a square?
The thing is, from based on the point that the angle is bisecting,
Yeah.
from that we can conclude that it is a square. It doesn't happen in rectangle.
Yeah.
It happens only in square.
Yeah.
So what about rhombus? What about the diagonals in the rhombus?
They also bisect.
They also bisect the angle?
Yeah.
Okay, then it becomes a rhombus.
Yeah.
Yeah, write rhombus there, see. What about D?
D, I think it's a parallelogram.
Because
Because opposite sides are congruent.
opposite?
Opposite sides are congruent.
Is it sides?
And opposite angles.
Angles. If opposite angles are equal, then directly you can say that it is a parallelogram.
Yeah.
What about the next E?
E. I thought it was a rectangle. Because the diagonals were congruent.
Diagonals are congruent in square also.
Yeah.
If you notice carefully, all of those sides come to the keyboard.
Yeah.
All of those diagonal sides are shown as equal. This side is equal to this side. It is also equal to this side. And it is also equal to this side. Like this.
Yeah.
That means this side, this are all equal.
Yeah.
In which case it happens? The diagonals are also equal.
Yeah.
Diagonals are equal. That means it could be either square, rectangle, or rhombus.
Yeah. Wait, but rhombus has equal. Rhombus has square, congruent diagonals.
Can you say that AC is equal to BD in this case?
Yeah.
Let's say if it is x, this is x, is equal to 2x. AC is equal to 2x, BD is also 2x.
Yeah.
So diagonals are equal. That is the first point.
Yeah.
So it becomes either square, rectangle, or
Rhombus.
if you notice carefully, diagonals are being bisected. Bisect each other.
Yeah.
And if you notice carefully, this part is equal to this part.
Yeah.
This part is also equal to this part. In which shape this happens?
Um.
In square it happens actually.
Yeah.
In rectangle, in the rectangle. In square it happens, it also happens in rectangle also.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so. Yeah.
So next one, F.
Oh, it's a square.
It is a square. Yeah, simple. G.
I said that's also a square.
Yeah, G is square because the angles are at 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay. C, D, E. Okay. E becomes only rectangle. Do you understand why? No.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the angle in between.
Yeah.
So if this angle is 90 degrees, it becomes square.
Yeah.
So G is a square. H is
H is. I said it's rhombus.
good. Rhombus. Rhombus angles are at perpendicular to each other. And they get bisected individually.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between rectangle? What is the difference between rhombus and a square?
Okay, so rhombus, Square, all the sides. Square has all 90 degrees angles, while rhombus may not.
Rhombus may not.
Yeah.
And in square, diagonals bisect each other. This portion is equal to this portion is equal to this. All four parts are equal.
Yeah.
For rhombus, this part is equal to this part.
Yeah.
And this part is equal to this part.